Kristina, I said earlier that I think, and I think Josh's comment speaks to this too, that the most important element in identifying or defining a bubble is recognizing when a card has exceeded its quote-unquote real value. Mm-hmm. In your opinion, and there's no right or wrong answer to this, how do we know that a card is at its real value? How do we know when a card has exceeded its real value?
That's a great question. I think it's easier to answer the second question than the first. Identifying the real value of a card is difficult, and my real value for a card might be different than someone else's. But the fact of how do I identify if a card is not a real value, if it's hyped right now, is something that I've said before. You have to look at a card and be like, if I wasn't willing to pay X amount of dollars 2 months ago for this card, even though I liked it, I am not going to pay 10x that card today because everyone is talking about it. And I think it really comes down to each individual, like Josh alluded to, and you did as well, Chris. Like, I think as a group, individually, we need to look at it and be like, okay, like I'm not going to spend this money on this card at this time. And then if enough people decide not to do that, then we'll see a real value.
Well said. Josh, same question to you.
This is the actual answer. This is like, you should put this in the fact book or something. The answer is the real value is the amount that a collector who collects that card is willing to pay. So what I mean by that is, I actually have a really good example. So like LeBron PSA 10 refractors and gold refractors, that's kind of my specialty. I'll use it as an example. I was buying, selling, trading those at pretty like sustainable values, 5,000, 4,000, some up to 10, depending on what it was, for a long time. And guys that I'm collecting with in that range, we're willing to spend that. We're wheeling and dealing, we're trading, we're selling. I'm buying stuff at that. Lately, we try to make this big push on those, right? Like, some of that stuff has come out and there's been a big push on that. Some of it's gotten up into 80,000, 100,000. You're seeing these crazy prices. I'm trying to sell some of it for a friend right now, and they're not willing to pay those 80, 90, 100K prices, even though some of those auctions have been that. And these are the same guys that we were doing this at 5,000, but they're willing to pay 30, 40, 50, 60,000. So they've raised their floor on what they're willing to pay. They still want to collect that stuff. They're still going after it. They want to obtain it. They want to own those things, most importantly, but they're still not willing to go quite as high as maybe some of these inflated prices. So I think, to me, it's like that range right in there. That's the real value. That's the one where the people who I speak to are actually willing to put their money down and pay for it.